A very good evening, all of you. So we'll go ahead with our MCQs discussion from Shade Guide, Shade Tabs, Vita Classic, Vita 3D Master. I hope you guys are all ready. It's been an amazing day so far, very occupied, very busy, and also we have loads of work still to do. Anyways, we're trying to catch up. So I hope you guys are all ready. So let's go ahead with our MCQs discussion. And also please confirm the audio and video streaming. And if you have any issues with the same, as you know, just leave a comment, right? A very good evening, all of you. I'll get back to your comments as soon as possible. Spend so much of time on making these presentations, and when something goes wrong, it's very, 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 very irritating. So anyways, let's hope the issue has been resolved. Okay, all set. So in the following image, Vitapan Classical, just observe the image. I wanted to show the image first. Which shade tabs have highest and least values? Yeah, is it B2 and A4 respectively, or A1 and C3 respectively, B1 and C4 respectively, A2 and B4 respectively? So which one do you think is more appropriate answer? And you have another few seconds. Okay, and also by the time we conclude this session, make sure that you have your scores with you so that you can post them in the comment section. So as we discussed early morning, the Vita Classic shade tabs arrangement is based on hues. We have groups A, B, C, D based on hues, and then each group, the shade tabs are arranged based on value 1 to 4, right? So I'm sure you might have observed this shade tab, and also you can see the image for the same. So which one has highest and least values? Value, we're talking about grayscale, we're talking about lighter and darker shade. So I'm giving you the hints. I think most of you have already answered this question. Very good. Option C is right answer. In fact, we have seen the sequence as well, right? So B1, starting with B1, which is highest value, and then C4, it has least value or darker in other terms. Also, you can find relevant information over here. So this is a new kind of arrangement where we are arranging the shade tabs in Vita Classic based on values starting from highest value to the left and lowest value to the right. And also you can find some notes which we already discussed this morning. Now let's move on to the next question. So I'm restarting the timer now. The individual shade tabs in Vitapan Classical are arranged based on, in fact, I've given you some hints prior. So let's see how many of you are going to answer it right. So the individual shade tabs in Vitapan Classical are arranged based on value, based on hue, or based on value followed by hue, or hue followed by a value. So which one do you think is more appropriate answer? You should be able to answer it in a matter of few seconds, since we have been discussing about the same from the morning session. Very good. Yeah. So as we discussed, we have groups A, B, C, D, right? These groups are arranged based on a hue. And then in each group, based on value, we have 1 to 4. I'm sure all of you will be answering it right. Very good. Option B is right answer. Keep it up. So do award yourself +4. So as you can see, Vitapan Classical group-wise arrangement, and each group you have value-wise arrangement. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. To ensure aesthetic results during shade selection, which of the following options do you think is more appropriate? We should rely only on shade guide tabs, as we have seen now. We should believe in our technician who actually uses an appropriate shade to make the desired processes. Or option C, we should consider only patient's opinion, as he or she is paying for the restoration or crown or inlay or onlay. Or option D, none. Which one do you think is more appropriate? Option C seems to be funny, but I mean it. There are patients who demand lighter shades, as we discussed in the early morning session. So what can you do in that case? You have to consider their suggestions, right? because ultimately they are the ones who are going to display the color in the oral cavity. Okay, to ensure aesthetic results, shade selection. During shade selection, which of the following is more appropriate? We should rely only on shade guide tabs would be a false statement. Only on shade guide tabs, no. We should also consider other factors, including including colored photographs, drawings, illustrations, and convey that to your technician. So only shade guide tabs would be a wrong answer, right? So this statement can be eliminated. We should believe in our technician, whether you believe in or not. That's a secondary thing. It's not based on subjective, right? These are objective. When a patient gives us an input, okay, we can take that subjective perception, but using shade guide tabs, colored photographs, so we have a protocol to be followed. It has nothing to do with our belief system in our co-workers or in our technicians. We can rule it out as well, even though that could be one of the minor factors. Option C, patient's opinion should be considered, as we discussed previously, but it should not be the only basis. So the word only makes all the difference, right? So you can eliminate option A, B, and C. And I wish at least one of you had chosen option D. Pallavi has chosen option D. Priyanka as well. Harshita, very good. Soumya. Okay. Shaifali, excellent. So those who have chosen option D, do award yourself +4. And those who have chosen other options, -1, please. Okay. The word only makes all the difference. If there is no only, then maybe you can include these options as well. So it's not just about one factor, it's about combination of factors. Shade guide tabs coupled with colored photographs. Also, pictorial representations, illustrations, division of a tooth into thirds, and then a drawing, and then noting down shades of each third, and even asking your technician to come and see if there is a possibility, along with patient's consideration, patient's opinion, right? Because ultimately it's them who will be taking the crown or processes. So all of these factors combined will ensure best aesthetic results possible during shade selection. Okay, yeah, very good. Now I know it's a challenging question, but make sure that you're getting the concept. Whether you're right or wrong is a secondary thing, isn't it? Yeah. Now let's move on to the next question. Arranging shade guides in decreasing order of value. In fact, we have seen in Vita Classic, we have another sequence of arranging shade guide tabs based on their value, highest value to lowest value, as you have seen, and also you answered the first question, right? So arranging shade guides in decreasing order of value. What's your opinion? Is a difficult task, is done historically, makes shade selection easier and reliable? So which, or all of the above, which one do you think is more appropriate? First of all, the reason why we are having this rearrangement is because if you carefully observe, I mean, when I say observe the teeth, your teeth or anyone's teeth, you'll not see much differences in hue. Hue is almost the same, but the variation comes with value, right? So there is a variation with a value. In fact, value, according to one of the articles, is considered to be the most important optical parameter, value. So that's the reason why we're trying to arrange it in a value sequence. Even though it might be difficult, and I don't think that's difficult. Again, that's subjective. Even though if we assume that it's difficult, once you arrange it, it's just done once, not every day or for every patient you keep changing. No, right? You just arrange it. So is it a difficult task? Is it done historically, or makes shade selection easier and reliable? So which one do you think is more appropriate? I'm glad you all chose option C, which is right answer. As I mentioned, this selection based on value, because if you observe the teeth, there is subtle differences in value, not hue, not chroma, right? So that's the reason, that's the very reason why, where we have a Vita 3D master. I will get back to that a bit later, okay? If I speak anything more, then I'll be giving answers to the next questions. I don't want to do that. So option C is right answer. Please award yourself +4. Very good. And also you know the sequence, right? And one of you, I think Yavista asked this morning whether we should remember this sequence. It's up to you, but at least make sure that since one of you asked that question, I devised an MCQ, the first MCQ, based on your suggestion or based on your comment. So you need not, even if you can't remember the entire sequence, at least remember the highest, the shade tab with highest value and least value, at least. Okay, yeah. So B1 and C4, I think the numbers are not so very clear, but anyways, in the morning session, I think we made it as clear as possible through notes. I've noted down all of them, and I hope you've gone through the same. Now let's move on to the next question. Yeah, so option C, right answer. Please award yourself +4. Now let's move on to the next question. Halfway. Two statements. Statement 1, an exact match between crown and remaining sound teeth is always sufficient when you're going for shade selection. Statement 2, subjective preference of patient need not be taken into account as patient is not an expert. So what do you think? Statement 1 is true, statement 2 is false. Vice versa. Both statements are true, both statements are false. So we're not going with answers based on our opinions or based on clinicians' opinions. The reason I've incorporated these questions is the information which is available in Philips, we consider it very, very important. And whatever is given in a textbook is considered standardized. So these questions are based on information given in a standard literature, such as Philips, including this question. Right? So this is not a matter of opinions or a difference in opinions or similar opinions. It's a matter of discussing standardized information given in your textbooks. So which one do you think is more appropriate answer? Okay, majority of you seem to be tilting towards option D, even though Munshi says option B. So an exact match between crown and remaining sound tooth is always sufficient, not necessarily, because as we discussed, patient subjective perception might vary, and usually patients choose teeth with lighter shades. So even though there is no exact match, it's acceptable as long as patient is satisfied. So this is according to standard literature. I'm sure we all have this experience as well, clinicals. Statement 2, so statement 1 is false. Statement 2, subjective preference of patient need not be taken into account. Even though they're not an expert, we need not have expertise in this. It's pure observation. Even though one doesn't have a degree, based on pure observation, we can make out things, right? Yeah, so both statements are completely false. Option D is right answer. As most of you guys rightly mentioned, please award yourself +4. Now let's move to the next question. The number of natural tooth shades offered by VITA Classical and VITA System 3D Master are, as far as I remember, I think I mentioned it in the morning session, but I'm not sure. Anyways, you guys let me know. So which one do you think is more appropriate answer? If I haven't, now I'm going to. So 15 and 25 natural tooth shades respectively, 25 and 50, 16 and 26, 26 and 56. There seems to be no relation between the numbers, right? Yeah. So how many natural tooth shades are present in case of VITA Classical, VITA System 3D Master? In fact, we've shown you the pictures of VITA Classical shade tab. I don't think you've counted the number of shade tabs over there. But anyways, let's see how many of you are going to answer it right. So is it 15, 25, 25, 50, 16, 26, 26, 56? So let me help you with a VITA System 3D. Since you have seen Classical Shade Guide, you should be able to answer the first one. The second one, VITA System 3D Master, you have a total of 29 shade tabs, of which 26 are natural tooth shades and rest 3 are bleached shades. I'll show you the pictures, okay? So I've given you the hint. Very good. Option C is right answer. 16 and 26 natural tooth shades respectively, and also you can find the same in the illustrations here. The top one is Vitapan, Vita Classical, and the bottom one is Vita 3D Master. You can count them, you will get 29. 26 along with 3 bleach shades are missing, only 2 are present, I reckon. So 26 natural tooth shades plus 3 bleached shades, a total of 29. Okay. Very good. Option C is right answer. Do award yourself +4. Now let's move on to the next question about Vitapan or Vita 3D Master. So shade determination in Vitapan 3D Master is done in which of the following sequence? In fact, I've given you some hints regarding the same while discussing about rearrangement of shade tabs in Vita Classical. So what's the order in which you determine the shade when using 3D Master? In fact, this is considered to be more appropriate in line with this 3D Munsell color system. So which one is the right sequence of shade determination using 3D Master? Value, chroma, hue, or value, hue, value, chroma, chroma, value, hue. It's like the worst country song ever, as Penny says. To Sheldon. Amy is a girl. She is my friend. And she is not my girlfriend. Okay. Wow. Cool. Huh? So the moment you come across this Vitapan 3D Master, just look into the number of natural tooth shades. You feel like saying, wow, cool, huh? So wow for value, cool for chroma, how for hue. You can create your own mnemonic. It doesn't matter how much stupid it is, because ultimately what matters is how you remember the sequence, okay? Also, as we've been discussing, value is the most important optical parameter, as I clearly mentioned. Also, there are subtle differences in value. So you can also have the scientific backing. It's completely up to you how you're going to remember the sequence, okay? Yeah. Hue comes last. Value, chroma, and hue, okay? Hue comes first in case of classical. Very good. Option A is the right answer, okay? So also you can see the Vita 3D Master and how to actually use that 3D Master. I'll just share a document with you. I'll just go through one document now. We'll also post the link in the description part of the video. In fact, we discussed this in previous MCQ discussion, last year paper discussion videos as well. But just for sake of completion, I'll show you that document and then we'll go ahead with our next question, okay? Yeah, just give me one moment. I kept the document open and ready. Here it is. It's from the manufacturers. So you can see VITA System 3D Master. Let me just zoom in as much as possible. Yeah. So you can see first determining the lightness. Also, what does LMR stand for? We have all the information over here. Representing hues and also the lightness and darkness. So determining the lightness is the first step. The second step is selecting the chroma. You can see the sequence which has been highlighted using a gray, not gray color, a coffee or tea color, right? Yeah. Determining lightness, determining chroma, determining hue. And also you can find some additional information, tips and all. So we'll share the PDF in your in the description part of the video. You can go through it after the session. So here you can find actually 26 plus 3 bleached shades to the extreme left, and rest of them, if you count, 26 natural tooth shades, okay? Next, moving on to the 8th question, assertion and reason. Let's see how many of you are going to answer it right. At low light levels, the color perception is lost. That's the assertion. Reason, cones in retina of human eye are more dominant than rods at low light levels. I think the sentence is incomplete, I'm sorry. So cones in retina, let me complete that sentence for you. Cones in retina of human eye are more dominant than rods at low light levels. I think it's better if I type it now itself. I reckon you've seen the answer, but it's absolutely fine. So from next time, I'm not going to edit the document in between the presentation. It's okay. As I said, it doesn't matter whether you're right or wrong. What really matters is, are you learning something from this? If yes is the answer, then you have nothing to worry about, including the final exam for that matter. Okay, so which one do you think is more appropriate answer? Yeah, Tahir, thank you for sharing your mnemonic. So you can all remember Tahir's college, Vyas College and Hospital, VCH. But you know, the funny thing about mnemonics is you'll remember Vyas College and Hospital, but you'll not remember what that mnemonic is for. So that's the challenge we have. So you should be able to correlate this. So we can assume that uh, Tahir's VCH College, yeah, they brought and bought new Vita 3D systems. Okay, you can link up that way. Or upon looking at 3D Master, you say, wow, cool, huh? Whatever works for you. Tahir, very good. It's innovative. Vyas College and Hospital. Glad to hear that, Tahir. Okay, so option C is right answer. Why? Since you have seen the answer, but there is no explanation here. I'm going to wait here patiently. I want to hear explanation from you guys. Why do you think reason is false? And those who answer it right only will be given +4. Is the deal fine? Okay, so why do you think reason is false? Because I'll not trouble you much. At low light levels, it's the rods which are more dominant. See, cones are associated with color perception, rods with light perception. During low light conditions, it's rods which are more dominant and active. So the color perception is lost. Okay, as the brightness increases, color actually changes. It's an optical illusion, which we call as Bijol-Brook effect, as all of you are already aware of, right? So if in reason, instead of rods, we place it instead of cones, we place it rods. Like rods in retina of human are more dominant at low light conditions. Yes, then in that case, you can go with option A. But with the given wording, say option C is more appropriate. I hope you got the answer. I hope you got the explanation. Very good. Very good. Rishikesh, Hadi, Fernandez, yes. So rods are associated with light vision, light perception, more of light perception, whereas cones with colored. And as I mentioned, Bijol-Brook effect is very, very important. So as the brightness increases or brightness intensity increases, as you can see in this illustration, the colors actually tend to change. It's an optical phenomena, which we call it as a Bijol-Brook effect. Can anyone spell it? Bijol-Brook effect. Please don't Google. Okay. So those who have answered option C, please award yourself +4 and thank me for editing this slide. Okay, I'm just kidding. Now let's move on to the next question. Penultimate question. True statement about 3D Munsell color space. I was under assumption that the first 8 questions or 7 questions are tough. So I wanted to give you very easy questions, 9th and 10th. But since some answers were leaked, first and 8th one, I think I should change the questions as well. But now it's not possible. Let's go ahead. True statement about 3D Munsell color space. Which one do you think is more appropriate answer? Value increases from black at the bottom center to white at top center. Chroma increases from center radially outward. Changes in hue occur in circumferential direction. So just visualize 3 Munsell color space, which we discussed in the 5 a.m. session. I'm sure you have that in your mind already. So visualize and let me know which is more appropriate answer. Very good, Vasuki. Bijol-Brook. I think it's BRUCKE. As far as I remember, it is BRUCK. Yes, Soumya, thank you. Okay, Vasuki. Now, you know the exact spelling of Brook, because Brook is a scientist who has come up with this, right? So out of due respect, we're just talking about spelling, or else what's a big deal? Very good. Sefali, we don't have option D. I'm sorry, we don't have option F. Surprisingly, you say it's option F. Oh, in the typing compartment, you have a letter F alongside D. So now I understand the confusion. Okay, option D is right answer. So let's look into the Munsell color space. As you can see, value along z-axis, hue circumferentially, and radiating, you have chroma. Okay. Now, what is value? What is hue? What is chroma? Don't worry, you have a question. Let's see how many of you are going to answer it right. The final question, match the following. You have two columns, A, B, C. That is one column, and 1, 2, 3 are other column. I mean, to the left of the screen, you have two columns. And to the right, you have the options. So which option is more appropriate? Hue, value, chroma, dominant color, grayscale, degree of saturation of particular color. Monica, yes, BRUCK. Good, Preeti, but you can give your best. We can say that at the end of the session. I mean, are you asking me to conclude the session? Okay. So if any one of you answers this question wrong, you're definitely in a big ball of soup. Because the so-called easy questions, if we make a mistake, that would be very, very costly. I'm talking an entrance point of view. Because every one of the aspirants will be answering it, or majority of aspirants will be answering it right. If you answer it wrong, then it would be a costly mistake. The reason why I'm trying to tell you is not to frighten you, but to remind you the fact that each MCQ, each question, all options should be, we should go through them at least twice. Consider that as a rule of thumb when you're attending any MCQ based test, including the final exam, right? Aditi chose option C. I caught you, Aditi. Okay, I'm just kidding. So hue is dominant color, a value is grayscale or degree of lightness and darkness, a chroma is degree of saturation of particular color, as you can see in this specific illustration. Okay, so option A, as majority of you have chosen, is a right answer. Well done, very good. Now let me know your scores. So maximum score of 40. So what's the maximum score we achieved in this session? Okay, so before we conclude, I just wanted to highlight one thing. So this morning, I failed in my 5 a.m. challenge. I couldn't wake up. Usually I wake up at 4 o'clock or 4:15, start preparing for the session. And today it was not possible because of some personal challenges. For the past few days, as I mentioned already, I was sleep deprived. I was not at all in right mind, confused and all. Just 3 to 4 hours of sleep. That too, it's not very good sleep. So I've experienced the consequences, and as a result, today I failed to meet up the challenge. But I'm glad that I failed, because sometimes it's good to do mistakes, especially the kind of mistakes which enable us to become a better person. So even though I missed the session, I missed the 5 a.m. challenge, I'm glad, because it's a good mistake. And anyways, it's always better late than never. So instead of canceling, we went ahead. And also, I really appreciate you guys for your patience. And I'm sure you might have carried on with your activities, even though you might have refreshed your YouTube channel page multiple number of times, waiting for the live session link. I'm really sorry for that. And for that, I'm apologizing, not for waking up early. If you're waking up early, I'm really happy for you. So anyways, we had our session and we successfully completed our session. And another thing I wanted to highlight is it's okay to do mistakes, but sometimes it's good because you learn something from the same. And this week had been very, very hectic. And today it's like double, triple dhamaka with all the updates. And also we couldn't really update your test series. In fact, yesterday and today's daily tests were not updated till afternoon. So afternoon we had to sit and create a daily test for regular batch, which will be updated for rest of the batches as well. So anyways, now test series update is complete till the weekend. Also your exams, Sunday exams are also ready, but we still have study club discussions. So we'll try our level best to give you questions as soon as possible. I really expect you to consider this delay, and also the mails. It's the second thing that's been delayed apart from study club discussions is mails for the past 3 to 4 days. We haven't been answering general mails, so we kept them unread. So we'll try to get back to you with your mails, with your replies, with your work as soon as possible. So one thing is guaranteed, you'll get a reply, and we'll try to reply as soon as possible. I hope you guys can understand. The challenge which I had been facing is like, because of sleep deprivation and because of the latest updates and all, there is no time to rest. At the same time, there is more work. It's like problems getting compounded. And today it was like, as I said, it's not even double dhamaka, it's triple dhamaka, because yesterday there was an announcement about 27% OBC reservation and 10% EWS, as you already know. And today again, there is a MCC update. So usually whenever there is any update relevant to our exams, we post information within 24 hours. So yesterday's update was posted today. And again, MCC update came, we had to post that again. Again, we had a shorter form of videos which we have taken up. It's become very, very hectic. And moreover, our team members, one of our team members, they created some 8,200 questions for the upcoming cumulative tests, and they lost the questions because of some technical issue. All these things were happening this week, and I'm not trying to complain. All I'm saying is it's been a challenging week so far. But I assure you that everything will be done. Whatever has been assured to you, it will be done. Just take my word. All I'm asking you is for a consideration of time. I know we're all really impatient when it comes to time. We want things to happen instantaneously, myself for that matter. But some things take time, as I keep on reminding. But these are some things which happened spontaneously, right? So I assure you that we'll get back to your mails as soon as possible. Also, we'll go ahead with tomorrow's 5 a.m. session as usual. Usually, I use 2 mobiles to set alarms. Yesterday, I used only 1 mobile. Maybe that's the reason why I failed to wake up. So I'll use my 2 mobiles as usual. If necessary, I'll use a 3rd mobile as well, Soumya's mobile or someone's mobile, so that we'll not miss tomorrow's 5 a.m. session. Okay. So this is something which I wanted to share. And let me check your scores. Wonderful. Preeti, since I asked you for thank you, you say we'll give our best. No, that's not what I meant. If you want to say thank you, instead of saying thank you, tell me that we will give our best. But if I ask you to tell me thank you, then I expect you to tell me thank you. I'm just kidding, okay? Since you've seen the key, I was just kidding. Don't take it seriously. Okay, we have a maximum score of 30, 35, 38, 25, 31, 32. Okay, Harshita, yes, each question 4 marks as per NEET format. -1 if you're wrong or if you don't answer. If you don't answer, -1 exclusive for our sessions. But in NEET, if you don't answer, you'll not lose any marks. So, Adina, you're also using 2 mobiles for alarm. And you know what? The surprising thing is, I'm sure you all might be doing the same. In each mobile, again, I set alarm at 2 different times. One at 4, one at 4:10. Because even though we missed the first one, we'll at least wake up for the second one. All this is happening because of the kind of workload we are experiencing. Because previous 7-day session, 21-day challenge, 7-day challenge and 21-day challenge, I hadn't even set alarm, as I mentioned previously. I used to wake up at 4:30 or 4:45 if there is a 5 a.m. session, because we were habituated sleeping early. And then that was a wonderful experience. But now, because of enhanced or increased workload, the day is extending till 10:30, 11, 11:30, and one of the previous days we had to work till 1:30. Hardly you get 3 to 4 hours sleep. Entire day you can't sleep. It's all very irritating. So anyways, that's our issue. We'll take care of it. Okay, guys. So I really appreciate all your active participation. Let me see your names once again. Yeah, Vasuki, Preeti, Swadina, Harshita, Fernandez, Ignatius. Okay, Ignatius, Ritu, Samia, Tahir. Tahir, I'm not going to forget your college name. I'm sure all the aspirants who attended this live session are never going to forget your college name. Kritika, Gunjan, Dr. Nidhi, Bhagyashri, Hadi, Aditi. Okay, guys, well done. I really appreciate your enthusiasm. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. club, and we'll go ahead with a new topic, and then we'll proceed with MCQs discussion as usual. Okay. Yeah. Good night. Dream big and have fantastic sleep. Love you all.